Welcome to this tutorial on advanced searching in ERIC. After viewing this tutorial, you will be able to conduct advanced subject heading searches in ERIC using the thesaurus. Here we have an advanced keyword search for a research topic on increasing retention amongst non-traditional students in community colleges. As you can see, the database retrieved 50 results for this topic, which is actually a fairly good number of results. However, this type of keyword-based searching relies on you correctly guessing which words or keywords others are using to describe your topic. In the age of Google, this is the most common way that we search, but what happens if we don't use the right keywords? For some projects, keyword-based searches might be enough. However, if the number of articles seems too small to you, or if you need to make sure that you're not missing anything, which is a must for literature reviews, theses, or dissertations, consider using subject headings to conduct your search instead. Subject headings, which are also called descriptors in ERIC, are terms selected by professional indexers in academic databases to account for terminology variations in a research area. If there are multiple ways to describe a topic, the indexer selects a single term and then tags each article in the database with it. For example, the subject heading handheld devices would be applied to all articles that use that exact phrase, or phrases such as cell phone, mobile device, mobile phone, or smartphone. In our previous search, we can see the subject headings that have been applied to each article under the title of that article. We can search for subject descriptors in ERIC by clicking the Thesaurus tab at the top of the page. Let's return to our previous research topic and search for subject headings. Type retention into the thesaurus box and click Browse. As you can see, ERIC did not find an exact match for retention, but it did try to find the closest subject headings for this topic. The first term in the list relates to psychology, which doesn't fit our topic. The second term refers to repeating grades in school, and the third term relates to staying in school. I can click on any one of these headings to see how ERIC defines this term when tagging articles. This definition or scope note for school holding power indicates that this is the correct subject heading for retention in ERIC. What we have just learned is that while our keyword for retention may pull some articles, ERIC prefers to use the subject heading school holding power. This explains why the pool of results we received in our initial keyword search was relatively small. It's also important to note that the page for each subject heading includes broader, narrower, and related subject descriptors in ERIC. Please keep this option in mind for projects that require comprehensive coverage of the subject area. To use school holding power in our search, check off the box next to it and then click Add. Then repeat the same steps to find and add the subject headings for each of your other research concepts. This means that I would search for non-traditional students in ERIC's thesaurus, and then check off this term to add it to my search, paying close attention to whether I want to add it to my search with and, or not. Then I would repeat a thesaurus search for community college, find this subject heading for the term, and then add it to my search as well. Once you have selected all the subject headings for your topic, review the search string that you've built at the top of the page and pay close attention to your choice of combination words and, or not. When you're happy with your selection, click Search. As you can see, we retrieved 91 results, which represents an improvement compared to the 50 results we found by relying on keywords. You now know how to use subject search options in ERIC. For additional help, use the Ask a Librarian service located on the library's homepage, or use the chat bubble to connect with a librarian during our virtual reference hours.